No, we're going to lay this groundwork as we go to do these practices. Try not to be too rigid in your practice of the technique. So what happens, a lot of people that use too much muscle, and that's when people get hurt. The other thing is people are awful stiff and mechanical. That mechanical thing really screws up the teaching of the technique because it doesn't resemble actual combat. I'll give you an example. If everybody practices defense against a punch, the problem is when they go to do the punch, they'll leave their hand out there. And when he leaves his hand out there, it gives me the opportunity to do all kinds of things that might look good, but would never ever happen. Because in the fight, nobody throws a punch and leaves their hand out there. What happens is the punch gets retracted. So the very first principle I want to share with you is the principle of retraction. If we're practicing a defense against a punch, please don't leave your arm out there, because it's actually not the way it's going to be. But that doesn't mean you have to hit the guy either. What you want to do is you're going to practice your punch like this. If I'm going to throw a jab, it's going to go like that. And if I throw a hook, I'm going to go like that. And that way, no matter what he does, I went slow enough to where I made contact with him and he didn't get hurt, but the threat was there. But if he freezes and screws up, yeah, I'm not going to hurt him. But the beauty of that is if I'm leaving my arm out like this and he goes to do something else, it just makes it awkward for him. So let's try to keep the punches and everything real. The other thing is, if he knocks me down, you don't want to be like, I don't like that, because that's not how the fight is. In a real fight, when guys are going and he knocks it down, it's more like this, and you see what I mean? So I'm not asking you to resist the other person, but I'm asking you to try to be semi-real. And it makes the training a lot more fun. So just do what's natural, don't be too wooden, don't resist too much right now, and that's a good start. So we're going to start with this punch concept. And folks, regardless of all the punches that people tell you are going to happen, you know, it might happen, but it's probably not going to happen. Anybody that's a disciplined martial arts doesn't usually fight in the first place. Your street punches are pretty much a combination of this set of hand techniques. They'll hit you like that. They'll do a 1-2 punch. They'll throw haymakers and hooks. Yes, an uppercut can happen, elbows do happen, and things like that. But these are the primary punches we work against, because that's what you're going to probably face. So we're going to start with a defense against a 1-2 punch. Boom, boom, just like that. And see how he pulled his hand back afterwards? Lesson number 1. Don't try to stop those punches. It's doable, but if he continues punching, the 3, 4, and 5th punch are probably going to get through and hit you in the head. So what I like to do is not so much try to move your body, but do what's natural, which is move your head out of the way. Just like that. This is called our hidden motion principle. We hide behind this in a defensive manner. So what we're going to do first, he's going to throw 1-2 punches, and I'm going to defend by leaning. And then he's going to do the same thing. And then I'm going to do the same thing. And from there, that's when I can start working on my other maneuvers. But we want to get that part down first. So you throw 1-2, he throws 1-2, and that kind of relaxed pace, and see if we can do some evasion. You want your feet apart and ready to move, not planted. But you don't want to be like that, because you're not going to be able to move. Okay? So light on your feet, kind of in this fashion. Don't do too much of this business. Be a little feet to the outside. So when you're defending against the punch, you can see even if I don't do anything, I just want to move out of the way, I'm mobile. Okay? Here we go. Because what you're going to be seeing is the feet moving. They keep real light on their feet. And you'll see how relaxed and natural they are as they practice the drill. And they're not flexing much at all. So this isn't happening. You don't really need it. It's more boom, boom, and their bodies are real light. And you'll see as they do this drill. Again, watch their feet. See how they're keeping a combat stance at all times. And they sometimes have to switch feet, as you see, to keep their balance, because so it almost looks like sparring, but it is not sparring. Stop. Very good. Give him a hand.